What if your commander entered the battlefield, challenged every creature to a fistfight, and promised cards to anyone reckless enough to participate? Welcome to the Jank Command. Today we are building Grothama, All-Devouring, a 10-power worm that turns combat into a dangerous group project. We damage our own commander, cash it in for a massive hand, and make the table decide whether helping us is worth drawing cards themselves. Grothama costs 5 mana and has 10 power and 8 toughness. Other creatures gain an attack trigger, allowing them to fight Grothama. When Grothama leaves the battlefield, each player draws cards equal to the damage their creatures dealt to it during that turn. That includes us. The important phrase is leaves the battlefield, so returning Grothama to the command zone still triggers the cards. Opponents may attack and fight Grothama for cards, but their creatures must survive a fight with a 10-power worm. We can protect Grothama, remove it at the right moment, or let an opponent sacrifice several creatures for a modest reward. This deck is upper bracket 3, powerful engines and explosive turns, but no early infinite combo, premium tutor chain, or competitive fast mana. Elvish Mystic, Lanor Elves, Findhorn Elves, Birds of Paradise, and Delighted Halfling accelerate Grothama. Sakura Tribe Elder, Wood Elves, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Nature's Lore, and 3 visits provide lasting lands. Selvala can produce enormous mana beside a 10-power commander, while Gwenna and Sommerwald Sage specialize in casting our large creatures. Ulvenwald Tracker repeatedly arranges fights. Tail Swipe, Ram Through, and Band together turn our creature power into removal or intentional damage on Grothama. Kogla fights when it enters, Thorn Mammoth fights whenever another creature enters, and Apex Altasaur can chain multiple fights. Grothama is both the fight target and the fuel for the next hand of cards. Hornet Nest makes flying Death Touch insects when damaged. Saber Ants and Broodhatch Nantuko turn damage into creature tokens. Stuffy Doll redirects damage to a chosen opponent and survives through Indestructible. Vigor prevents damage to our other creatures and converts it into counters, making supposedly dangerous fights grow our board instead. Mithril Coat grants Grothama Indestructible at flash speed. Heroic Intervention and Tyvar's Stand protect the whole plan, while Tamiyo's Safekeeping and Snakeskin Veil stop targeted removal. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots supply haste and protection. Alpha Authority makes Grothama difficult to target and nearly impossible to gang block. Our creatures can fight Grothama, deal damage, and then we sacrifice or bounce the commander to trigger its draw ability. Life's Legacy, Momentous Fall, and Greater Good convert Grothama directly into cards. Rishkar's Expertise draws 10 before casting another spell. Garruk's Pack Leader, Elemental Bond, Guardian Project, Beast Whisperer, and Soul of the Harvest provide steadier value. Drawing 15 or 20 cards is less impressive if we immediately discard them. Thought Vessel removes the hand size limit, and Psychosis Crawler grows with every card while damaging each opponent whenever we draw. Skullclamp turns our damage-created tokens into more cards. War Room and Bonder's Enclave provide backup draw from the mana base. Rancor and Garruk's Uprising give trample, ensuring giant creatures do not lose to a single token. Bronze supplies trample from the graveyard. Bellowing Tangleworm gives most of our green army Intimidate. Champion of Lambholt becomes harder to block as creatures enter, while Rogue's Passage can force one decisive attacker through. Orin Frostfang gives attacking creatures Death Touch and draws cards when they connect. Tarski provides indestructible pressure and more combat draw. Snake Umbra protects one threat and rewards damage. Hunter's Insight converts a successful attack into a new hand. Stonehoof Chieftain gives attacking creatures trample and indestructible, turning fights and combat into a lopsided disaster. Beast Within answers any permanent. Cross and Grip stops artifact or enchantment tricks without allowing ordinary responses, while Return to Nature adds graveyard utility. Basilisk Collar gives a fighter Death Touch and lifelink, allowing even a small creature to trade up. Bosuju provides interaction from a land slot. Overwhelming Stampede normally uses Grothama's 10 power to give the entire team +10/+10 and trample. Champion of Lambholt can make the army unblockable, and token makers provide bodies for the boost. Psychosis Crawler offers another ending. Damage Grothama with several creatures, draw a huge pile, and drain every opponent for each card. 35 lands keep the deck functional. Castle Garenbrig and Nykthos produce bursts of green mana. Mosswort Bridge easily meets its power requirement. Myriad Landscape ramps, Oran Reef grows green creatures, and Yavimaya fixes utility lands. Homeward Path retrieves anything stolen, which matters when the commander is a tempting 10-power target. Cast Grothama with a protection spell available. On the next turn, fight it with several creatures, preferably ones protected by Vigor or Indestructible. After recording the damage, sacrifice Grothama to Greater Good or Momentous Fall. Draw cards from both effects, replay mana creatures, and use the new hand to assemble Overwhelming Stampede or a Psychosis Crawler finish. The deck can generate extraordinary cards and mana, but it depends on a 5-mana commander, creature combat, and visible setup. Graveyard Hate barely matters, but exile removal, counterspells, and well-timed protection can interrupt the draw turn. It has no compact infinite combo and gives opponents meaningful choices, placing it firmly in upper bracket 3. Grothama turns the command zone into a public boxing ring where every punch comes with paperwork. The complete deck will be available on Moxfield. Subscribe to the Jank Command for more obscure commanders, strange interactions, and wins nobody at the table expected. Remember, if the enormous Wurm invites you to hit it, read the fine print first.